Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I am on the way to showcase how to farm Nemesis Troves. As a beginner, first let's take a quick look on the character that I'm gonna use. This is one of my last playthroughs, it's completely beginner friendly. No crazy gear, no sets. Left weapon is a best in slot, but I have a cheap option as well. Basically, I attach all-around smite to it, just to proc some reduced target damage. Tyrant prefix does that for me on this one. Pretty command drop, Zolan battle plate, target farmable pants, mines just for resistances, any rolls that gives you good resistances will fit. Belgothian Carnage, this is not mythical relic, is level 60, another guaranteed drop if you play the game long enough. Stoneplate crafting belt, I just got 5 or 6 as a unyielding of attack. Solid, not amazing, but still, again, crowd control resistances, some offensive ability, that's what I'm looking on the belt slot. Pretty generic Gutworm's Mark, nothing crazy. Another craft, technically I got the third one. Basically the most useful stats here is the base itself. Menacing of haste provides literally almost nothing to the build. Very common drop, I drop like 5 or 6 of those. Play Dancer Handguards mainly for the attack speed and the proc. Elite Legion's Shoulder Guards. Of course, this is guaranteed item when you get revered. Another pretty generic weapon. Stats doesn't matter honestly, as much as this double pierce will fit in this slot. Pretty generic Blood Briars. Didn't farm much, this is my third or fourth drop. Consecrated's always nice, this is Spirit. You need at least one consecrated prefix on the greens. So I keep my amulet, but feel free, it can roll on the boots, it can roll on the pants, and you can get resistances here. The idea is to play Jenga with it. Blackwatch Seal, command drop, even if you don't have it. Any resistance with attack speed suffix Crownless Ring is gonna do the job. Malmut Blade Seal, this is from Revered with the Malmut resistance, and it should be, if you follow this guide, actually, I'm gonna put it in the description. This build is very cheap. It's a pre-endgame build, completely beginner friendly, no crazy sets, no crazy components either, completely basically free stuff. First step of this guide is to memorize Malmut Sewers as your spawning location, so you prevent basically teleporting and loading screens too much. This puts too much time on the timer and make your runs very inefficient. Basically how to do that, you teleport to the sewers and move next to the faction vendor. You can walk a little bit inside just to be sure you step on the basically the save point for the Malmut Sewers Rift Gate, so you can always bounce here. How we gonna farm this Nemesis Troves? Basically I'll just spam Alexander. Why I pick Alexander over the others? Very simple. His kit is very simple. Also, no circuit breakers, no annoying mechanics like Kuba that splits on a multiple bodies. No teleporting like Valdaran. No crazy tankiness like Iron Maiden. Alexander is nice and easy. Basically what I do is clear a little bit this part for any heroes, and I move next to the Galacross, because this is the closest dangerous domain to a Rift Gate, and dangerous domain spawns Nemesis much faster because dangerous domains mobs gives more points for the Nemesis meter, which is invisible basically, is something in the database of the game. Numbers can't be checked if you check the database. A lot of people in the Discord, they have actual numbers, but basically you aim for heroes, bosses, champions, they give the most points to summon a Nemesis. Here I rush Galacross, so I don't fight both Alexander and Galacross at the same time. Just for a safety purpose, this is at hardcore. And here I summon Alexander. As much as you avoid his meteor, you should be okay. He is not bursty enough to take you down. Here is the meteor, very slow, very easy to dodge. And here I reset. Let's make another quick run. Sometimes you're gonna summon him pretty quick, sometimes gonna take a while. Average time between runs is between 2 and 3 minutes, very rarely 3 minutes plus. So this is very efficient way to farm. Nemesis Troves drops at least one legendary item, sometimes two. They are a good source of blueprints. If your blacksmith is far behind on a blueprints, you hunt some sets, you hunt some materials, blueprints. Extremely potent way to farm early in the game. Also very quick. I'm gonna showcase the loot after 1 hour spending doing this. Again, nice and easy. Any build that is in pre-endgame gear can do that. Basically, the idea is to have as much item level as possible and a good rolls, of course. You can use this pretty cheap pharmacy. This is sold by Mammoth Resistance to get some advantage against Ethereals, a little bit more damage. This is total damage modifier. 8%, sorry, doesn't sound much, but trust me, is good enough. Because this applies to everything. It's a total damage modifier against Ethereals and Ethereal corruptions. Also you got 8% less damage from them if your build is kinda squishy and you're afraid to die a lot. Good thing about this farm, even if you die, of course, if you're softcore, not like me, hardcore player, if you die in softcore you lose nothing. This is not Shattered Realm, it's not Crucible, there is no penalties here. You just go back on the horse and hunt Alexander, sorry. Let's rush go across again. This time I hope I don't summon both of them. Galacross give the most points here. Also, good chance to drop a legendary or epic items. Skull bosses was buffed during patch 1.2, so they are good source as well. Not as good as the Nemesis Troves, but still is a nice bonus when I kill him to get something on top. Okay, this time is gonna take a while until I summon Alexander, but this is a good showcase what to expect. You never expect to summon him in the first minute, sometimes requires 3 minutes plus. You clear the whole sewers. In the worst case scenario, I have to teleport to Broken Hills. Not Broken Hills, sorry. Crown Hill. It all depends on the spawns on the sewer. I did 21 runs in total for 1 hour. And after a minute I'll showcase to you all the drops. At least the useful drops, which is basically legendary items. I sold most of the epic items because I decided this time to no showcase them. but there was plenty of them. Every single hero mostly dropped 1 or 2. So I end up sold out like 100 plus epic items just for these runs. Grind sometime is real. Okay, it seems I have to teleport to Crown Hill. This is the longest run, when you have to teleport to another zone. Crown Hill is much easier. Chaos good density, especially here. You have a guaranteed sentinel. And here I summon him. Avoid the meteor and just burst him down. You can reposition a little bit if you take way too much damage. But as you can see, 1 or 2 guaranteed legendary items. Let's showcase the loot. I'll do that in the Steel's Cup, so I keep my spawning point on the same map. If you teleport on a bigger city to sell your stuff, you're gonna overwrite your save point, which is not ideal if you plan to do this for a while. Just keep your mammoth resistance. So I'm not gonna count this stuff. This is the 22nd run and the 23rd run basically. I'll showcase just the first hour of this grind. Let's start like this. So 45 legendary items in total. This per hour is actually a very good wealth. Especially I don't count the blueprints that I found. Basically I built my entire blacksmith. Only from these runs I found, I don't know, maybe 15 blueprints on top of what I found during the leveling process. I do soul self-found runs, so I start on a completely erased save file, so I don't have anything in my blacksmith when I start. And I played this character for 20-25 hours maybe, approximately. So I found most of the sets during this session. Not gonna showcase them, I don't remember what exactly I found. Let's start with the legendaries. That's 45. I found some best in slot items. I would say very profitable session. I managed to find my best in slot gloves for this build, which is huge. Spending 1 hour in the game and find one of your build exclusive items. Very good drop. Another best in slot items for a physical cadence. Venomancer is another very good armor piece. We have best in slot weapon for a bleeding trickster. This is Scion of Crimson Awakes. Extremely good. Vulgur Touch, another very good vitality based set. Deathmark Shoulder Guard, another best in slot basically for a cold dervish. 2 times mythical Void Walkers, another best in slot boots for several builds. Always nice to have few pairs of those. Fiend Flesh Greaves, very good defensive options for a pet builds. Nice proc, nice stats to a pets, and also nice skills. Void Steel Gauntlets, another basically best in slot for a basically Chaos Sentinel. Extremely good gloves. Amarastran Crusher. A lot of people use this to spam Amarastra's Brave Burst. Not my favorite weapon, but still fun to use. Nadan Reach. Another best in slot weapon if you plan to do basically on a 2-hand Ring of Steel Blade Master. There is a few builds around it. I don't like 2 hands Night Blades. Mythical Mind Trap, another best in slot weapon on a several builds. Comes with a reduced resistance, flat resistance, a little bit low on the flat, but still very powerful item. Comes with some weird conversion. Anyways, Gut Reaper, not a bad gun if you plan to do a bleeding warder. This fits nice. Fun weapon to use, not exactly the strongest warder, but still if you don't care about meta, you want fun builds to play, Gut Reaper is there for you. Another Venomancer. Golemborn Graves, huge defensive options for several builds. This gun honestly never play Lightning Cadence, sounds like a meme to me, but probably is gonna work. Lights out, not the most useful ring, honestly. Mythical Grasps of Unchained Might, sorry, best in slot for this build. Best in slot for most Blade Arc builds. So, very nice pair of gloves. Girdle of Stolen Dreams. I don't think I ever used that one, but probably have some use after always want to Occultist. Corvan Rim, another thematic crossbow, can be used as a primal strike, either Elementalist or Vindicator. Works very well on the Tactician as well. Basically, you play around all the conversions. All depends what class you pick. This can convert all of the damage to a different type, basically physical. Kinda niche weapon, but still nice to have if you want to try something fun. Clairvoyant Rope, another top tier set for dispatch. Basically, a lot of people use that, play Albrecht Ether Ray, either as Vitality or pure Ether. Ether is the strongest, so always nice to have this one, especially when it's top tier at the moment for Albrecht Ether Ray casters. Dread Knight leg plates, nice pair of pants, nothing special about them, but still useful. Stronghold Defender, another top spec for Purifier in dispatch. Not the best DPS of all Purifiers, but very durable. Very good farmer as well. In terms of sustain, you don't have to reposition that often because usually Purifier is a glass cannon, but this one comes with some juicy stats. Divine Steel Shoulder Guards, not the best shoulder guards in the Grim Dawn, still can some use. One of my favorite set, I always stock up Blazier, sorry. This is basically Pseudopets and Guardians of Empyrean and Blackwater Cocktail Shieldbreaker. Very fun build to play, very cheap. One of the most cheapest setups in Grim Dawn. It requires this one and couple other guaranteed basically pieces. It's nothing crazy. Dead Guard, another top tier set, because right now we have acid resistant shred on the Necro, so actually right now poison and acid Reapers are top dogs in dispatch. Extremely potent farmer, very fast. Highly recommend to keep your Dead Guard pieces. Another fun to play weapon and iconic for Grim Dawn, this is Gut Smasher. This allows you to spin to win as a physical build. If you like this Diablo 2 Barbarian playstyle, this is the weapon for you. It's very close to the Immortal King set, or at least the feeling when you play Gut Smasher, it's very close to Immortal King set. So massive, very aesthetically very good looking weapon. I'm gonna put it right now. One of my favorite mace in the game. You see there is a blood dripping. massive mace, and when you spin this feels so good. Not the strongest spin to win build, but in my opinion, with the proc and everything, this is the most fun spin to win build that you can do. Especially Warlord is a very powerful class. Jewelries, Eternal Pyre, very good ring for Fire Strike. Beastmeal Authority, very good set. If you play, I do believe, Elemental Ravens. Especially right now there is a very powerful spec by GS. He plays this Raven as a Warlock, which is very interesting. Around his Kandra Elemental Exchange and Ravens plus Beastmeal Authority. Spec is very good, I just still waiting for him to put that together. Jackson's Lucky Bullet, another good ring, comes with a proc, actually weapon pool skill proc. Very nice ring, I would say, very fun to play around it. Not best in slot, but still can be used in several builds. Mythical Vygar's Hunger, best in slot amulet for a Drain Essence, Vitality Drain Essence, either Ritualist, Kabbalist or Oppressor. But basically Ritualist get benefit the most. Amazing find. Another best in slot medal. Mark of the Dreadblade. Very often uses in a Cadence builds, Righteous Fervor builds, comes with a physical bias, total speed, nice proc. Very good medal. Another best in slot boots for several builds, like Physical Oppressor. Right now there is some Vitality Ritualist setups that I use this, always nice to find. Armor of the Tree, best in slot for Acid Retaliation Sentinel. Storm Cage, kinda useful. A lot of builds use that as a cheap option on a lighting setup, because comes with Spirit, offensive, defensive ability, all good stats. Chain Lighting proc is not bad as well. Aesthetically, visually, feels like a Thunder God. Very nice. For roleplay reasons. Heart of Hugo, not the best armor, still can be used in a several setup, just there is a better options. But massive life pool. Physical resistance, actually this one rolls on the top. And nice aura. Few builds use that. Very niche armor, but still one of the few armors that convert Ether to Vitality. And Mythical Damnation, I never use that. Seems like a useless weapon. Some people can prove me wrong. This is all I found for this 1 hour, 45 legendaries. We found 27 shards. All the kills on Alexander and Galacross net me 13 ethereal mutagens, which is not bad. 16 brain matters, 173 crystals from all the crystals that I kill. Ethereal Missive, 11, and of course Nemesis bosses, they have a chance to drop Lotus. Not a high chance, still from 1 hour to Lotus, kinda bad. Still something on top of what I found. Pretty much that's the guide. I hope you find this useful. Please like and subscribe so I can continue making this mini series about easy farming crowds and easy building wealth, blacksmith and a shared stash. And thanks again for all the support and retention. Thanks to the Grimdown community as well. They being behind me for a long time already. And see you in the next one.